Welcome to Transforming the Toddler Years, the podcast for conscious parents, caregivers, and educators who believe tantrums aren't terrible. They are powerful opportunities for connection, growth, and learning during the first 5 years. You'll explore how to use intentional language to raise calm, confident, and deeply connected kids, because the way we talk to kids becomes how they see themselves and engage with the world. Hi, I'm your host, Cara Tyrrell, classroom teacher turned parent educator and teacher trainer. Are you ready to nurture your children's mind, body, and spirit? Welcome, Toddler Tribe. Let's transform the toddler years together. Welcome back, Toddler Tribe, to the second in our 5-part series about the 4 C's of collaborative discipline. If you missed it, you're going to want to go back and catch the first episode where I do an overview of the 4 C's with an example with a slightly older child, so that you can tag right into this episode. So today we are going to talk about the first C. And if you downloaded the free PDF, you can see that it's really cyclical. So that cycle just moves right around and feeds back into connection. But if you're entering the cycle for the first step, you always enter at connect. Connection is the key to everything you want to experience with your little people in your life. And so here's a few things about connection that matter. Okay. It's not about words. We don't connect with words. Wow. Is that something that you've ever thought of before? We don't connect with words. We communicate with words, but we don't connect with them. When we have a connection to another person, when we relate to another person, there's that root word of relationship, right? It's a feeling. It's a knowing. It's a sensation. That connection. And it's ultimately energy. The energy field, the force that exists between two people. That is connection. And it's essential. Without that piece, none of these other steps work. This is the foundation. A relationship, a healthy, functional relationship, is rooted in 4 core connectors. If you've heard this before, this is a great reminder. The core 4 connectors are values. They are human experienced values of mutual trust and respect and honesty and the ability to talk about all of those things. So when you think about your tiniest humans in your life, an 8-month-old, an 18-month-old, a 2, a 2.5, a 3-year-old, are those the first things that pop up in your mind? In order to be a strong, loving role model and caregiver for this person, I need to respect them. Probably not. It's not the culture that we live in. And that's hard. That is, you are working against our current culture. And so you're doing this very consciously. We talked about that in the last episode. You're doing this very intentionally. I want to build a connection, a relationship with the kids in my life. So you're going to want to prioritize respecting them and letting them know that you believe them. Honesty, right? They are born. They are born totally vulnerable, totally clear. Like there's no barrier there. It's full clarity. What I feel is what I show you. What I say is my truth. It's the world that starts to taper that for them when expectations are put on. So from their tiniest moments, if you can be feeding them relationship builders, these invisible strings that connect you, that says, I believe your words and you can believe mine. I will tell you the truth. You can tell me your truth. I'll respect your wishes and your desires. That does not mean that you always fulfill them. This is a really important point. In my episode before this, where I gave you the example of Davy and his deep desire to go out and ride his dirt bike at 7:30 in the morning in the fall, that was not going to happen at that moment in time. But it was essential that he knew that I understood his desire, that I believed his words, that he is allowed to wish that. He's allowed to want that, even if that's not the outcome that's going to happen right that minute. This is vital. We correct a lot as adults. We go automatically to correction. If he did say, right, I am going to do this right now, in a very demanding, in a very authoritative tone, and he moved his body to do it. I could have gone straight to correction. No, you're not. No, you're not. Whew. Even just saying the words, can you feel the energy through the screen, through your earbuds that says, oh, well, here we go. Cue the power struggle. Why even bother try now? Meltdown ensuing. Building the connection that has them ready to actually listen, like hear your words, is the key. And the tricky part is, it does not happen in moments like that. It has to pre-exist the moment of struggle. It has to. Which means in moments of calm and fun and even boredom, in just everyday, regular moments, riding in the car or at circle, whatever's happening in your world, however you engage with kids, when you notice the calm is when you should perk up and say, oh, this calm moment is a wonderful time to build connection, to deepen our relationship, to show them that this energy exists where we can be a team in the fun, calm, chill moments and in the challenging, problem-solving, different outcome ones. Okay, here's another thing about connection. Because it's based in energy, as I said, it's not based in words. So what is it based in? If we don't have our words, what do we have? Well, we have quite a lot, actually. I am just so excited. It's going to be quite a while from the time of this episode, but the idea that I get to add my voice to the early childhood, early language development world through my book, Talk to Them Early and Often, which will come out in the spring of 2026. I just did so much research and I dove deep into the little person's world, and our words are actually our last line of defense, if you will. And they comprise the most minimal portion of what tiny brains and bodies absorb from us. What they connect to is our facial expression. That is an energy source where they read us like books. Yeah, you didn't think infants and toddlers and preschoolers could read, did you? Well, they can. They can read us. A facial expression that closes off. A facial expression that communicates clearly without words that you're dubious, that you don't actually think they can do it, that you're super frustrated, that you are overwhelmed. Well, they get it. They read it instantly. I'm sure you've had this experience, or maybe if not, you've definitely heard somebody talk about the fact that, actually Caroline said it on her cool episodes. She was like, all I have to do, is like raise one eyebrow and the kiddo knows that they're on thin ice and they need to make a different choice. No words, but clearly communicated. You might want to change your course. How else do they feel us? Because they feel us before they hear us. Our body language. If you're watching this on YouTube, then like I teach sign language, so my hands are always moving, and the body language is key. You need open, inviting body language. When we're closed off, or we are got that facial expression that's all furrowed and cranky, and our mouth is closed like a tight lip, and our hands are tucked under our armpits, we are not approachable. The energy says, big old red stop sign, do not approach. Not only do not approach, but if that adult starts giving you a direction, don't listen. It doesn't feel like a safe energy to be interacting with. This is a lot, isn't it? It's a lot. So we've got our facial expressions that we have to be aware of. And, those smiling eyes, do those bring in littles? We've got our body language we have to be aware of. What about your body position? When you get down, people talk about this all the time, right? Get down to their level. What does that mean? Well, typically it means we miss a step. Sure, we get down to their level and then we tell them what to do. Or we get down to the level and tell them what they're doing wrong. Well, that's actually not helpful. The connection in our body position, body posture, we call it, is a nonverbal communication moment. Just get down and be there. Sit side by side. Share space together before you even say anything. These are the connection pieces. Now think back. If you're a parent listening and you have your own kids, think back to those early infancy days. If you're a teacher listening and you have your own kids, you can go there, or you can think about that first few days where those students were brand new to you, right? They didn't know you yet. They didn't have a connection with you yet. And that was yours to build. The physical proximity, the sharing of love and space is how you build it. And there's no expectation in those moments. And as adults, that's really hard for us, right? We're in our cognitive brain so much of the time, and we're looking for results, and we're looking to teach. And when we want to teach something, we want to see the results of it. And in connection, there's nothing to teach. The psychology of human connection is presence. You simply being there, and it's the most powerful force in the world. When infants come into this world, what do they look for? Skin to skin connection, a bouncing body that is soothing their physical experience in this world. When a 1-year-old or an emerging toddler is seeking connection, what do? Arms up. I trust you. I believe you're the one that can help me feel safe right now. Pick me up, please. Make connection with me. When a bustling, running, full of opinions 2.5-year-old toddler falls down and actually hurts themselves, what do? They do a U-turn and they run back to the person that they love, trust, respect, and believe the most. Because you have set yourself up in that relationship with them. Then you're able to use your words. Then you're able to problem solve together with them as a team. And you are able to compromise to reach outcomes that work for both of you. Okay, connection is the key. And at the beginning of this episode, I said, really, how you show up in the moments is based on your deep why. In my world, I call it a personalized mission statement. And it informs who you want to be as a parent, who you want to be as a teacher, the value system that you want to instill in the people that you raise, and the way that you show up in the challenging moments. And so if you haven't already, grab the free graphic that shows you the 4 steps to collaborative discipline. And if you're feeling ready to take the next step, we have a short video training for you where it guides you through the process of writing your personalized mission statement for raising and teaching extraordinary human beings. So you might want to go grab that and take that, and it just gets you set up to be in a responsive mode instead of a reactive mode. And I really look forward to walking through the next step with you in the next episode. But until then, Toddler Tribe, you know what to do. Stay mindful and proactive as we transform the toddler years.